Hello, welcome. Let's discuss the PIB analysis of 16th November 2020 and 17th and 18th November. The first article is about the ICRISAT, stands for International Crop Research Institute for Semi-Arid Regions. It is an international organization which conducts research in the agriculture research for the rural development. And it is headquartered in the Patancheru, Hyderabad, Telangana, with several regional centers and research centers in different countries. It was founded in 1972 by a consortium of organizations consigned by the Ford and the Rockefeller Foundation. The charter was signed by the FAO and the UNDP. Coming to the semi-arid tropics, it is an area characterized by highly variable, low to medium rainfall. And there is a characterization of poor soils, lack of irrigation there. And historical rainfall is annually 700 millimeters, that's all. In agriculture policy terms, this region is said to be LFA, that is the less favored area. And coming to the why is this was in news, because recently the Ministry of Civil Aviation and the Directorate General of the Civil Aviation granted permission for the use of the drones by this ICRISAT. And ICRISAT is agriculture research, conducts the agriculture research activities by using the drones. What are the activities performed by the drones is it helps in the agriculture sectors of the agriculture and the healthcare and disaster management and urban planning and monitor endangered species and weather forecasting and mining and all these areas the drones cover. And government encourages the low cost drones for innovation for providing of 6.6 lakh villages in India. And the drone regulation policy 1.0, that is the digital sky platform. And this digital sky platform enables online registration of the pilots and devices, and it also service providers, and the no permission no takeoff policy. And this platform is unique for the unmanned traffic management system, and which is expected to facilitate registration and licensing drones and operators. And what is this digital sky platform? What about is this means? It is an online registration platform for all these licensing policy of the drones, and it also regulates unmanned traffic management and facilitate registration and licensing of drones and operations, in addition to the instant clearance to the operators. By this regulation, the airspace has been divided into 3 zones, that is the red zone, yellow zone and the green zone. In the red zone, no flying is permitted. In the yellow zone, controlled airspace is permitted for some sort of flying, and green zone is free automatic permission can be given in this zone. What are the restricted zones for this drone operations is military areas, military installations and airports, international borders and the near coastline and state secretariat complexes. All these things are not permitted, mainly restricted. And coming to the festival Bhai Dooj, Prime Minister Narendra Modi tweeted a tweet regarding the Bhai Dooj. Bhai Dooj, also called as Bahu Bees or Bhai Tika or Bhai Ponta or Yamadvitiya. It is a Hindu festival celebrated on the second lunar day of the Shukla Paksha Vikrama Samvat, celebrated during the Diwali time. It also celebrates the bonding of the sister and brother apart from the Raksha Bandhan. And Next thing is the floating rate bonds. These floating rate bonds, unlike the traditional bonds, the rate of interest is fixed for the traditional bonds. Whereas for the floating rate bonds, the variable rate, that is not fixed, the rate of interest, and it changes or resets periodically from time to time. And it is a debt instrument for the variable interest rate with the variable interest rate. Generally, the rate of interest is regulated by the central bank of that country. For India, it is RBI, and the rate of interest resets every 6 months periodically for the RBI. The bonds are not eligible for trading in the secondary market, and it cannot be used as collateral for the loans, and only sole holder can buy this, and not transferable. Only in case of nominee or legal heir dies after the death of the holder, then it is transferable to the responsible person. Otherwise, not transferable. And coming to the WHO Executive Board, WHO's parent organization is the United Nations Economic and Social Council, one of the 6 principal organs of the United Nations. Coming to the WHO, WHO is one of the part is the World Health Assembly and Executive Board. For what is the her chairman is the our health minister, Dr. Harshavardhan. Legislative, it is a legislative and supreme body of the WHO. It is based in the Geneva, Switzerland. It appoints Director General of the WHO every 5 years on the election basis. And coming this all up for the 16th November. And coming to the 17th November, India-Luxembourg relations with the first ever standalone meeting we already discussed in the previous video. And Belgium and Germany and France are surrounded by the Luxembourg. That's why it is important remittances received from these 3 countries. And second thing is the Leelavati Award 2020. Union Education Minister launched this for the innovative education program to empower the women. And coming to the award, this award is an initiative of the AICTE. This AICTE stands for All India Council for Technical Education. It is presented based on the theme of women empowerment. And the aim is to create awareness issues like sanitation, hygiene, health, and nutrition with the traditional Indian values. Increasing awareness in the technology, literacy, empowerment, innovation, credit and skill development, natural resources utilization, marketing, and the women rights. It was named after the book Leelavati, which was written by the 12th century poet, who is the Bhaskaracharya, whose daughter is Leelavati. Under this award, 7 categories has been awarded for this award. They are literacy, self-defense, women entrepreneurship, legal awareness, women health, sanitation, and finally hygiene. Coming to the next, that is the HELP and the OALP policy regarding the hydrocarbon exploration. HELP stands for Hydrocarbon and Exploration Licensing Policy. It came into force in 2017 June, replacing the previous new exploration licensing policy, which was approved in March 2016. OALP is a part of the HELP, and OALP stands for Open Acreage Licensing Policy, along with the establishment of the National Data Repository for this field area studies. The main features of the HELP are revenue contract sharing and single licensing for the exploration and production of the conventional and unconventional hydrocarbon resources, and the marketing of them, and the pricing freedom given under the HELP. What is the need for the HELP? And go away with the NELP means India, which is the third largest consumer of the crude oil and petroleum products, thereby oil and gas 34.4% primary energy consumption in India. In recent years, India has seen decline in the energy and production of the conventional sources. That's why there is a new exploration and production policy needed for the encouragement of the investors and so on so in the exploration and the production policy. That's why the HELP has been introduced. Coming to the OALP, Open Aquarius Licensing Policy, it is a critical part of the HELP. It provides uniform licensing for the exploration and production for all forms of the hydrocarbons, including conventional and non-conventional. The fields offer under a revenue sharing model. Through this model, they throw up freedom and the marketing freedom and the pricing freedom for the crude oil and natural gas which are produced. Under OALP, it offers competitive bidding. Through this process of competitive bidding, the entity who offers the maximum share of the oil and gas to the government of India will be awarded the block of that field. These data of the competitive bidding stored and processed in the National Data Repository we submit to the EOI. And coming to the NDR, it is the National Data Repository provides exploration data on countries' repositories and allowed them to choose fields according their capabilities. Managing the fields, oil fields and the natural gas fields, and based on the capabilities of the investor, they can choose their suitable policy. The data for the NDR received through the National Seismic Program, which this National Seismic Program study in-depth 23 sedimentary basins in India. And coming to the next thing, that is the EESL DNRC Goa Convergence Project. What is this all about? Convergence Project means EESL stands for the Energy Efficiency and Service Limited. It is a joint venture of the PSUs under the Ministry of Power and Department of New Renewable Energy signed a MOU. What is this joint venture means? The EESL and the Department of New Renewable Energy carry out feasible studies and subsequent implementation of the decentralized solar energy products. Through this decentralized solar energy products, through this project, they will install solar energy products and replace the normal electricity producing things from the non-conventional sources. EESL shall implement the solar energy projects. Generally, the establishment of 100 megavolt of the decentralized and ground mounted solar power projects on the government lands to be used for the agriculture pumping. Thus, this EESL establishes 100 megavolt decentralized ground mounted solar power project. Establishes solar power projects which are decentralized ground mounted and on government lands used for the agriculture pumping. What is the profit here means? It replaces approximately 6,300 agriculture pumps with the BEE star rated energy efficient pumps and do all away with these efficient pumps and distributes approximately 16 lakhs LED bulbs to the rural domestic households apart from this installation of the solar power project. This model expected to adopt by the other states as well, as this reduces losses in terms of the expenditure on water for the farm sector, saving tens of thousands of the rupees for the other states also. This model is implemented in Goa, and this will accelerate uses of the renewable energy sources for the agriculture rural power consumption in the state of Goa. This will contribute to the reduction of the peak energy demand through the deployment of efficient pumping and lighting through the sustainable energy. In Goa, with this EESL, It will install solar projects in the vacant lands provided by the Gram Panchayats and the electricity boards. Through this, it will connect independent sectors like the solar energy, LED bulbs, and energy storage, and it enables decarbonization plan of the country and affordable energy access to the country. And coming to the next, that is the 17th November 2020 PIB analysis. The first thing is the Corps Engineers Day of 2020 and the Pradhan Mantri formalization of micro food processing enterprising scheme, stolen idols and artifacts and the legalities behind this, and India's artificial supercomputer Paramasiddhi and species ICARD for the crickets for the identification of species diversity. The 240th Corps of Engineers Day celebrated on 18th November 2020 organized at the National War Memorial. Coming to the Corps of Engineers, they provide combat engineers support and develops infrastructure for the defense forces and maintains connectivity during the national disasters. These all things executed based on the 4 pillars of the Corps. Who are these 4 pillars means combat engineers, military engineer service, and the border road organization military survey. Some of their achievements are recently inaugurated Atal Tunnel by the initiatives of the border and road organization, and construction of the Bagajan Bridge in the Assam, which is 150 meters for the well capping team of the oil refineries, and developing indigenous bulletproof jackets. And coming to the next article, that is the PMFME scheme, that is the formalization of micro food processing enterprises scheme. The scheme was launched under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, and it is centrally sponsored scheme which will be funded both by the state as well as center, and it aims to support and enhance the competitiveness by using individual micro enterprises in the unorganized segment of the food processing industry. That's why by promoting them, making the sector as a formal sector or organized sector. And it also support farmers production organizations and self-help groups and production cooperatives along the entire value chain of the food processing, micro food processing industries. And an outlay of 10,000 crores for 5 years has been announced under this scheme for the 2021 to 2024 to 25. Thus, it envisions directly assists 20,000 micro food processing units. 20,000 micro food processing units. 20,000 micro food processing units, providing financial, technical, and business support for them for upgradation of existing micro food processing enterprises. And coming to the next thing, that is the stolen idols and artifacts. Recently, the bronze idols of the Ram, Lakshman, and Sita has been stolen over from the Tamil Nadu and has been shifted to the London. There, London Metropolis has been collected them and submitted to the ASI. And this ASI has submitted them to the idol wing of the government of Tamil Nadu. These bronze idols belong to the Anandamangalam of the Nagapatnam district of Tamil Nadu. These bronze idols belong to the Sri Rajagopala Vishnu temple, and these idols date back to the 13th century AD during the Vijayanagara Empire. These are examples for the masterpieces of Indian metal art. And legal provisions regarding the artifacts returning and all these things, illegal trafficking prevention, all these things. The first, these are governed by the laws of Antiquity and Art Treasures Act of 1972, and which says that this act defines antiquity is a thing that is any sculpture, or any coin or any epigraph or other crafts or art of writings, articles separated from the caves, etc. These all things combine the antiquity, which represent the science, tradition, religion, and political affairs of the old age. These combine artifacts, antiquities, and this enacted to control the export business in the treasures of the antiquities by giving the authorized persons a license and controlling the unauthorized persons and illicit trafficking. And Indian Treasure Troves Act 1949. Uh, this is a and a national mission on monuments and antiquities. This national mission on monuments and antiquities is a national registry for artifacts and which are unprotected. And other one is the national manuscript mission, uh, which documents the heritage facts. And several bilateral arrangements has been made between various countries. These all laws have become ineffective in the recent past because they are enacted a way back in the centuries 1949, 1972. That's why they are somewhat ineffective. There is a new law has to be enacted to prevent the illicit trade of these artifacts. Coming to other important convention on this illicit export and import of the cultural property. That is the UNESCO Convention on Means of Prohibiting and Preventing Illicit Export, Import and Transfer of Ownership and Cultural Property. This is the convention, and it is adopted by the UNESCO in 1970 in the Paris. It was a treaty signed to combat illegal trade of the cultural items. The three main pillars which protect the cultural property under this are by taking the preventive measures, restitution provisions, and international cooperation. And as of now, 140 states has been ratified it, not 140 countries, 140 states. What is mandatory to be signatory means at least 3 states of the country has to ratify the UNESCO Convention. Apart from this, during wartime, international conflicts, cultural artifacts protected by what are the laws of international conflicts during the wartime means protection under Hague Convention 1954 and protection under Geneva Convention on War. These two laws made sure that there is no damage to the cultural and heritage properties during the wartime. And India's artificial intelligence supercomputer Paramasiddhi ranked 63 among the top 500 global supercomputers. Coming to the Paramasiddhi, it is a high performance computer of the artificial intelligence, a supercomputer established under the National Supercomputing Mission of the CDAC, and it achieved 63rd position out of 500 top global AI supercomputers, which are non-distributed computer systems. Artificial intelligence strengthens advanced materials, computational chemistry, astrophysics, and different areas of the science. And it also provides platform for the drug designing and preventive healthcare system and the flood forecasting. And it is acts as a boon for the geo exploration packages of oil and gas recovery. Yes. And the species of iCard for the chips of crickets. What all about these chips of the cricket and iCards? Crickets. Crickets is a species of insects under the belongs to the order of Orthoptera superfamily Grillodiae and class Insecta and the family and the division of Arthropoda under the Animalia invertebrates. And coming to the chirping. Chirping is a process in which the insects, especially male, by rubbing their forewings, make sounds uniquely to attract the mates for the mating, and this is called chirping. They will make a unique sound for the rubbing their legs, they rubbing their wings. This is called chirping. certain insects only makes this chirping, and this chirping will identify species diversity based on its chirping process. Each species has its own chirping. That's why this uses to identify the species diversity. Now scientists establishing a Acoust signal library. This is the what we have to learn. A Acoust signal library to monitor chirping and track diversity of the species. Why is there is the need for to identify the chirping means normal traditional morphology based taxonomy. By looking at the species, we can identify. This is not sufficient for the classification of species. It delimits the cryptic species. What are the cryptic species means? Two or more species which are morphologically indistinguishable species, but they share common characters under one species. Indistinguishable become they appear as same species, but different categories have been hidden under this species. That's why diverse species morphology has been included in one species characterized wrongly as multiple species. All these confusions can go away with this acoustic signal library. Therefore, this morphology-based traditional taxonomy may lead to overestimation or underestimation of the species. And this newly developed acoustic signal library used as a non-invasive tool in species diversity estimation. This library is in digital mode used through the phone applications. This is all about the PIB analysis of these 3 days, 16th, 17th and 18th October.